All right, I have Jeff Molina on the show now, who picked up a split decision victory this past Saturday at UFC Vegas 56. Jeff, how you doing?
I'm doing well, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I first want to start with, before the judges rendered their decision, because with all of the wacky judging nowadays, I got to imagine maybe you were a little on the fence. How did you and your team feel before they actually gave the decision and gave you the nod?
We didn't know, man. We didn't know. We knew it was a close fight. James told me it's possibly 2-1 in my favor, but with all the controversy that's been happening in fights these last couple weeks, and with the judging criteria kind of being unknown to a lot of people, fighters included, myself, I'm in that category. We didn't know. So when I heard 30-27, the pessimistic side of me just assumed my opponent got it. I've been on the shit end of a split decision before, and of something I felt like I won pretty clearly. I thought it was a clear 2-1, that split decision I'm referring to early on in my pro career. So the pessimistic side of me assumed it. They gave it to my opponent, but I really do feel like I won that fight. And Herb Dean afterwards said, "Hey, man, you got to believe in the judges a little bit more." So I won that fight, man, and I think the judges got it right.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. Now, clearly, Jeff, you were the more technical fighter in there. Your opponent, Zhalgas Zhumagulov, he was more of kind of, a little more crazy, winging some hard punches, looking to maybe, knock you out. What was your game plan? And I'm sure you knew that heading into this fight. So what did you and James Krause and your team want you to do to execute here in this one?
Man, the big part of the game plan was to chop the lead leg. I felt like I did an okay job at that, not as well as I wanted to execute it. We expected him to come out pretty aggressive. He wasn't that aggressive, man. And the Manel Cop fight and the Jerome Rivera fight, he was very aggressive from the start, from the time the bell rang until the fight was over. He was in your face. Didn't really do that with me. Kind of stayed at bay. Still did his traditional striking, which is just big hooks and big overhands. And they're educated hooks and overhands, but he wings them, man, and he has bad intentions behind him. I was surprised. I knew he was going to wrestle in this fight. I was saying it all week that I brought my wrestling shoes for this one. He hadn't really wrestled in his UFC career, but outside the UFC, he did. The only time he had taken someone down was Amir Abazi, and that was in round one. That was the one time he's wrestled in the UFC. But we just kind of assumed that he'd try to grapple me. I guess the only thing I was surprised by, at least, was he didn't really want to advance the takedown, right? So he'd get the body lock and he'd kind of just milk the clock, and that's on me. Kudos to him to have that type of game plan, but to just hold the body lock and not try to advance position and get the takedown. And I felt like anytime he actually tried to finish the takedown was when I was able to get right back up to my feet. And it was the times where he was just holding the body lock, milking the clock, that I was frustrated by. And that's on me, brother. Like, I'm gonna get better from this. The dude was strong, man. I couldn't strip the grips there. I've been cut the wizard a couple of times to just try to focus on fighting those hands, but kept a great grip and I couldn't break it. But I'm gonna learn from that, man. Damage is the biggest criteria of the sport. I felt like I landed the most damaging shots in round 1 and 3, and that's why I won that fight.
Now, in round 2, he did land a big left. Were you significantly hurt by that?
Yeah, for sure. It was a clean hook. I wouldn't say I was hurt. Like, I wasn't like on Queer Street. It was definitely a shot right on the button. It buckled my knees, as you saw. But I felt like I recovered fairly quick. I felt like even if he would have pressured me heavy off that blow, I would have recovered just fine. But that I felt like I was winning round 2 up until that point, and that's why trying to watch it from an unbiased point of view. I watched the fight at least 15 times now. That's why I'd give him round 2.
Okay. What was the corner advice going into round 3? What did they want you to do?
They didn't know where the scorecards were at. It was look for a finish. It was look for a finish, push the pace in the third, and try to finish the guy.
I feel like, cardio is easily one of the most important things that you need to have in your back pocket as a professional mixed martial artist. How did your cardio feel throughout this fight? Did you feel still pretty fresh at the end?
Yeah, cardio felt great, man. I feel like that's going to be an advantage I have over a lot of these guys, Zhalgas included. That was a big part of the game plan, I guess I forgot to mention earlier when you asked, was his feet are going to settle. He's going to have a hot 5 minutes in him, but his feet will settle. And I feel like that was true. I feel like the momentum was starting to shift. I felt him slow down. He was smart in getting a little break with the tape trick. But yeah, I felt like he was starting to slow down, and I felt cardio-wise, I felt great, man. Obviously, there's a lot I wish I would have done, and like I said earlier, Ryan, I'm gonna get better from this. Yeah, this is one I'm gonna lose sleep over. It's a lot easier to lose sleep over it off of a win though, and I know I've said this a couple times now, but I really do feel like the judges got it right, and I'm just excited to get back in the gym, man. I feel like Zhalgas doesn't get the credit he deserves because of his track record in the UFC. But outside the UFC, he's done some big things, man. He's won 5-round fights against Tahir Bekov, Tyson Nam, Ali Bagatinov. Two of those guys who are in the UFC right now doing pretty big things. So he was a tough opponent, man. Came with a good game plan to try to neutralize my game. And I know I'm just going to level up a ton from this fight.
Now, you haven't lost for quite a while now, man. Did you feel that extra pressure to kind of keep that win streak going here in this one?
Not really, no. That extra pressure is always there, whether I've won 10 straight or whether I'm coming off a loss. Or, it's all the same, man. You try to win every fight just as much as you try to win the last one. You know, there's no extra pressure. It doesn't matter who you're fighting in front of, whether it's a empty Apex in front of just Dana like it is on Contender Series, or whether it's in Jacksonville in front of fans for the first time like my debut. Fight's a fight, and the most important thing is getting the win. That's the only thing I care about leading up to a fight, is by any means necessary. And there's a saying like winners know how to win, and I felt like I found a way to win that night.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. How did you celebrate afterwards, man? Did you go out and do anything, or did you kick back and just watch the rest of the card?
We kicked back and watched the rest of the card. It was James Krause's birthday that day. Happy birthday to that old fart. Yeah, we just watched the fights, and he's a bit of a gambling degenerate, and so am I. So we watched the rest of the card. He took a flight home to get back home to his kids, and yeah, just chilled out. I have some family and friends that came out to watch me fight. So just hung out with them, and we're still here in Vegas, just living it up for the next couple of days and enjoying the post-fight celebrations.
What is the normal, post-fight win food that you go to? There has to be something that you look forward to diving into.
Dude, I'm a pizza snob, man. I was born in Jersey. I love me some good pizza, so it's always pizza and donuts after a fight. Those are my go-tos. Yesterday, we actually went to this buffet. It's called the Bacchanal. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, Ryan, but it's pretty well known here in Vegas. We booked it a month and a half in advance because we've been trying to come here for the last 2 years, and it's always like way booked out reservation-wise. So we finally went. Dude, it's so fucking good. Like, it's like $75 a person, an extra 25 if you want to do the unlimited mimosas, which we had to jump on. But dude, it's like the bougiest buffet you can go to, man. They got like bone marrow and crab and lobster, and like a taco station where like there's a chef personally making you tacos of which one you want, and like yeah, it's crazy, man. It's nuts. And I'm a fat heart, man, so I felt like yeah, I felt like I was at Disney World, man. And it was cool is like obviously in camp you get all these cravings, man. Like I'm cheat when I'm in camp, man. I follow my nutrition plan to a T. I work with Tyler Mitten, one of the best nutritionists in the game, and I follow the nutrition to a T. So out of fight camp, I like to enjoy food a little bit, and I felt like I got to knock like all the cravings I had, like I'm a pregnant woman yesterday at the buffet, like because they literally had everything you can imagine. So dude, I had like 10 bowls of chips and guac. I was craving chips and guac for the longest, man. So I'm rambling about this buffet, man, but 10 out of 10 would recommend. It's called the Bacchanal. It's Caesar's, here in Vegas. I'd check it out, man.
Okay, good enough. That's on my bucket list.
Free promo.
For sure. So I do want to make a trip to the Jersey Shore at some point before the summer's out. Where's my go-to for pizza there? Where should I head to?
Man, they're just called Mike's. It's on the Jersey Shore. Best pizza, one of the best pizzas I ever had, man. I would check out Mike's. I think it's called Mike's Pizza. I think it's just that generic, just older Italian guy that owns it. It's great.
Okay, that's what I'll do then. Now, I got to ask you about. I saw this in your post fight interview. Tell me what happened with, you wore these Pride Month shorts. What happened with that? You were getting some heat, and I loved your response because I completely agree with you. Can you just kind of dive into that a little bit?
Yeah, yeah. Long story short, from the fight, the UFC emails me asking what color shorts I want. They said for Pride Month, they're allowing fighters if they want to add the rainbow vinyl to the fight kit, meaning that the shorts, the fight hoodie, and the shirt will have rainbow vinyl instead of the traditional, depending on what your color of shorts are, red, yellow, whatever the vinyl usually is. I saw that email. I texted my manager Jason House. I said, "Hell yeah, get me those give me the rainbow vinyl. That looks sick." He replied to something along the lines like, "LOL, okay, we'll get her done." And that was that. And then on media day, they handed the fighter kit with the rainbow vinyl, and I thought it looked cool. I was like, "Oh, this is sweet." I took a picture of it, posted it on social media, and I was like, "Hey man, it's really cool that the UFC is allowing us to put rainbow vinyl on our shorts in support of Pride Month." It was more about it looking kind of cool that I wanted to post my fight kit, and also it's for a good cause. So I made that post and I didn't check my phone for a couple hours, and next thing I know, like it blew up. On the most positive aspect either, a lot of the comments were some hateful shit, saying like, "Man, you're gonna go to hell for supporting gays," and just like really negative, hateful shit. On the other end of it, there was a lot of love shown. A lot of guys were DMing me, saying like, "Hey man, I didn't know you rolled that way. Like, it's I think you're cute, whatever." And I felt like I had to make another tweet kind of to address the whole thing. And that I'm a straight guy, but I appreciate anyone saying I'm good looking, man. Like I'll take that. Like I appreciate that. But that I'm a straight dude, and I just I believe that people should be able to love what they want and be with whoever they want, um, regardless of their gender. I think people should just be their genuine selves, and um, so I addressed it that way. And then so on the other side, I also addressed the homophobic people in the comments, kind of telling them to go fuck themselves. Like you guys are losing sleep over something that shouldn't concern you. So I made that comment, and then that was that. I was flattered by the people of the gay community reaching out to me. I was cool with it. Yeah, it felt good, man. And on the plus side, I had some chicks reach out to me and was like, "Hey man, I love that you're supporting this cause. It shows that you're comfortable with your sexuality and whatnot." Anyway, whatever. That was that. And then after the fight, the questions was asked about that, and yeah, just kind of spoke on felt about the situation, and that was that. I didn't expect it to kind of blow up. It did. Part of me bothered by the fact that it got to be so big, not because I'm trying to backtrack on what I said, but just because it feels weird to be appreciated for something that should just be right. It should just be human decency. It's like me being appreciated for saying murder is wrong. Like for me saying racism is wrong. For me saying is wrong. Like these should just be known things, right? Like good for you. Like it shouldn't. I shouldn't appreciate it for saying, "Hey man, it doesn't matter who you want to be with. If you're a girl and want to be with another girl, or if you want to be with the guy, it doesn't matter. Like that's up to you. It shouldn't concern others, and people should not be hateful towards that." And for people to, I guess the only part that maybe bothers me a little bit is the fact that I meant everything I said, man. But it does feel weird to be appreciated for something that should just be common decency.
I 1,000% agree with you. So I applaud you for taking the stand that you did. And again, I agree with everything you said. To get back to what you were talking about, about getting some DMs and people showing you some love. I gotta say, I think you might have the nicest fade in the UFC. So you probably have to give your barber a shout out, man. Who cuts your hair?
My man. So out in Kansas City, I got a guy named Clint. He's supported me since I was like 15, 16 years old. Cuts me up for all my fights. He's the man, dude. Like literally supported me. He's given me free haircuts in the past. Every time I have a fight week, he hooks it up. He was closed Memorial Day, but came into the shop just for me, get me a haircut before I left. And then my man Elliot out in Las Vegas, anytime I'm out there, he hooks it up. He does a lot of the fighters' haircuts in Moreno, Ngannou. A lot of the fighters, he's the man out in Vegas. So shout out to both those guys.
Yeah, very cool. Well, let's talk about, what is next for you in this 125-pound division. Man, I feel like you got to be getting closer and closer to cracking that top 15, right? I mean, what else do you need to do to break into that top 15?
Man, that's a good question. I'm not too concerned with the ranking, with whether there's a number next to my name after this weekend or not. I'm not sure when ranking comes out. Is it Tuesdays or Monday? I'm not sure. I don't really care, to be honest, brother. My goal is to one day be a world champ. However, I'm in no hurry to get there. So if I have to fight number 15 through number 1, I'll do that. As far as what's next, timeline wise, looking at October. There's a couple people calling me out. Muhammad Makayev called me out. O'Day Osborne called me out. I fucking love it. I love all that. Bring it. I love the call outs. I think me and Makayev, is inevitable. I said that earlier today when asked about it, and I really think that's true, man. I feel like our paths are going to cross. Whether that's this year or when we're both in the top 5, we'll see. I have no opponent in mind in October. That's up to my manager and my coach. If they like it, I like it. I've always told them that. They said yes, yes. Just tell me the date, tell me the opponent, and I'll be there.
Can't wait to see what is next for you. Give me your prediction here. This is now your teammate, former champion Brandon Moreno, fighting Kai Kara-France for the interim championship. I got to imagine you're going to believe Brandon Moreno is going to get this win here. Ultimately, how do you see that fight playing out?
I don't see it going too different than the first go around, man. Except maybe this time I see a finish by Moreno. Moreno's got a tank on him, man. He can go 5 rounds and make it look easy doing so. And I really feel like I don't see how Kai gets rid of Moreno. Moreno has a chin. He hits just as hard. And I don't see it going too different from the way it went in the first fight as far as the striking exchanges. I can even see Moreno finishing him late third round, 4th or 5th round, either submission or TKO.
How much has it helped your skill set to have Brandon around in the gym day in and day out?
Man, it's been awesome. It's been awesome having not just a champion, but a champion in my weight class as a teammate, as one of my main training partners. Now Tim Elliott and Brandon Moreno are my main training partners. Like that's pretty fucking cool, man. And it's been great for my confidence, man. Not that I've ever had confidence issues, but my confidence has only grown from having a champ like Moreno as my main teammate. Like I know where I'm at. And it just feels really good to be able to, like, I know where I'm at when I'm training with these guys, and it's a huge confidence booster, brother.
For sure. Great interviewing you for the first time, Jeff. Again, congrats on the win. I'll definitely get with your management company because I want to talk to you again before you fight next, whenever that is, whoever the opponent is. I'm looking forward to it. Before I do let you go, I want to give you the floor. Tell people where they can follow you on social media. And if you have anyone to thank, floor is yours.
My man, it's at @JMolina_125 on the gram and Twitter. And no one else to thank, man. Just thank you for having me, brother.